Hi guys, and welcome back to Beauty Fortified. If you're new here, welcome. My name is Sue, and today I'm doing a review and wear test of the Stila Stay All Day Foundation and Concealer. Now, this product has been around for a good number of years. I believe that it was reformulated a couple of years ago, and I've read some really excellent reviews online, particularly from women who have more mature skin. So I've really been wanting to get my hands on this for the longest time. It really is one that has kind of flown under the radar. You don't hear much about it on YouTube. And so I thought it would be a great opportunity to give this a go and to see if really all the reviews are up to scratch and, whether it really is all that. So I'm going to try it on today. I'm going to show you how it works with a couple of products over it as well. And I'm going to come back at the end of the day and give you my final thoughts. So now onto the application. I've prepped my skin. I have on my moisturizer and my sunscreen. This is what the packaging looks like. So it's a very elegant gold container, which is synonymous with Stila. I think they do their packaging really well. On the top, you have the corresponding concealer. So I am in the shade number 3 light for the concealer and foundation. So that's the concealer over there. And then you just take off this top, and there you have the foundation, and it's got one of those dispensing mechanisms where you press down and the foundation pops out. Now, I'm not a very big fan of this kind of dispenser. I'm just giving it a couple of pumps. So it comes out looking like that. I'm not a big fan of this kind of dispensing mechanism, but anyway. So that's a couple of pumps. I'm just going to take it on my finger. Now this shade does look quite light on me. I tried all these shades, and I will put a link up above. I think they only have 9 or so. So they don't have a huge shade range in this. And I went through everything, and we decided that this was probably the best bet. So it does look a little bit light at the offset. I'm going to go in now with a foundation brush, and I'm just going to gently buff that all over into the skin. So when I tried this in store, it actually did do a great job of kind of disappearing into my skin. So that was one bonus. But the shade that was a little bit darker than this was just a little bit too dark. So it's really blending quite beautifully. And a little bit about my skin. I do have normal combination skin. I have got enlarged pores. I've got fine lines and wrinkles. So I do like to look for something that is going to help to blur my pores. And this is giving a really beautiful finish. I must say it's blending really well with the brush. It's giving me a kind of satin finish, so there is a little bit of a sheen to it. But the shade has worked out really well, so it really has blended quite beautifully into the skin. So I can't really complain about that. And it really is giving me, there's a kind of a little bit of iridescence about it, a little bit of a glow, but it's nothing obnoxious. This looks really good. My skin looks really smooth. I'm going to pop on just a little bit more onto my cheeks, just where I have the bulk of my enlarged pores. And I'm just going to buff that in to see how buildable it is. And it really does look like it's quite buildable. It's not pilling or anything on the skin. It's just giving a really, really nice finish. So it looks like it needs to kind of set and dry down just a little bit. So while it does that, I'm going to go onto my brows, and today I'm using a brow pencil also from Stila. This is one I picked up today as well. and I really was uber impressed with this. It's a really excellent color. This is in the shade medium. It's a very, very fine brow pencil, and it does have a spoolie on the other end. But before I do that, I've almost forgotten about the concealer. So I'm going to go in with a little bit of the concealer. Now, I do think that this might be just a tad too light for my skin, but we're going to try it anyway. So I'm going to go in with my finger and just try a little bit of that and just see how that works under the eyes. It's quite emollient and it is quite light, but I'm just going to tap that in and see if that can work, if it can do the trick. And it is blending in quite beautifully as well. Just with tapping motions, it's blended away and it has really lightened the under eye area. I wasn't sure about the concealer, to be honest, but it looks like it is doing quite a fine job. So I'm going to let that set a little bit, and I'm going to quickly go onto my brows. I really am loving this brow pencil. It just has such a fine tip and it's really just so easy to use. So it has kind of settled down a little bit. I am going to add a little bit of powder. I'm going in with my Rimmel Stay Matte, and that's just to take away a little bit of the sheen, but it really has got a beautiful finish at the offset. I'm liking that a lot. It's not exacerbating my pores. It's just looking very, very smooth. And I guess the acid test is going to be how it lasts throughout the day. But I'm really liking that. And I think the shade match is really, really good for my skin. So I'm going to add a little bit of blush to this. We're going to see how the blush sets on the foundation. I'm going in with a little bit of my MAC Melba. Just taking my Smashbox brush, and I'm just going to apply a little bit of that. And it's really applying quite beautifully over the foundation. Nothing is moving around. So that is a good sign. And really is looking, it's a satin type of finish, so it's definitely not a flat matte finish at all. It's a true kind of satin, which is very flattering on my skin, so I imagine it would be on most mature skins. It really is quite lovely. So that's the blush done, and then I'm going to go in with a little bit of highlighter. I've got a new highlighter today. This is one I picked up from Clinique, and it's the Luna Pop highlighter, and I have really been loving this. It really is just a very understated, gentle highlight. Absolutely beautiful. And I'm going to put a little bit on the apples just to give a bit of a glow. And then I'm going to go in with a lip balm, and this is one of the MAC Glow Play lip balms. I picked up one in the shade, I can't read the shade, but I'll put it up on the screen. I really love this. It looks very, very neon and very bright, vibrant in the tube, but it actually goes on as a beautiful understated color. So guys, that is a finished look. So I'm really loving the look of the foundation. I am going to come back a little bit later on in the day, and we're going to see how it's performed throughout the day and how it's worn throughout the day. But it really is beautiful off the bat. It's a satin finish. It does give a little bit of a glow to the skin. It doesn't necessarily exacerbate my pores and my texture. So really happy about that. And just very comfortable on the skin and very flattering on the skin. So I'm going to come back in a few hours and we're going to see how the foundation has held up. Hi guys, I've now had the foundation on for a good solid 8 hours. I haven't blotted at all, I haven't touched up. All I've done is retouch my lipstick. So what are my thoughts? Well, I have to say I'm absolutely blown away by this foundation. Just looking at it, you can see that I do have some oils peeking through, which is very natural, normal for my skin. Normally, after the first 2 hours of applying foundation, I usually have to blot down. I did leave it today on purpose just to see how far I could push it. So I am looking quite shiny, but I must say that the foundation has held up. I can't see that it is breaking down around my nose or anywhere, even around my chin. It still looks intact. So I'm going to take a little bit of tissue paper and I'm just going to blot and see how that improves the foundation. I must say that I did wear this with a mask today and there was minimal transfer. So I'm very pleased about that. Definitely just blotting it down has improved the shine situation. So it really looks fine. It has faded on my nose and a little bit over my cheek area. It has faded slightly on my forehead, which I think is to be expected. I am going to apply a little bit of powder. I'm going to go in this time with my Maybelline Fit Me Matte and Poreless, and we're just going to see if that improves at all. So you can see a little bit of my texture now that the foundation has been on for 8 hours. And this powder is just helping to disguise the texture and take away a little bit of the shine. But my blush is pretty much still intact. It has faded slightly. But really, I think that overall the foundation looks dang good. So very, very impressed with it. I just wanted to quickly read you what it says about the foundation on the packaging. I didn't go into too much detail to begin with. So they say benefits 12-hour wear, high definition liquid foundation with a refillable cream concealer in the cap. Now I must say I have been quite impressed with the concealer as well. It hasn't broken up under my eye area. It still looks absolutely fine. It probably has faded a little bit over time, but it still looks decent. They say this is lightweight, medium to full buildable coverage foundation with a matte finish. I would say that it has got more of a satin finish, but it definitely is a medium coverage. You probably could build it up to a full coverage. They say that it's specially formulated with Arclay Youth Revival Bio-Mineral Complex, a proprietary blend of 15 vitamins, minerals and antioxidants. And they say that it's oil-free and fragrance-free. So definitely oil-free. I didn't realize that until I was looking at this a little bit earlier. But I think that's probably why it does so well on my normal combination skin. I think if you have dry skin, you'll probably enjoy this foundation as well. It is quite emollient and it's just beautiful. It really gives a flawless finish. It really just looks like skin. It really does. It's a beautiful, almost undetectable foundation, I would say, but just really covers everything that it needs to cover, can be built up, and I'm really uber impressed with it. When I went to go and purchase it, the lady said to me it is very similar to La Prairie. I think it's made by the same manufacturer. There's some connection there. So it really is a very high-end foundation, I would say, with a medium price. So it really is a good one. It really gives high-end foundation results. It's what you would expect from a luxury foundation. So I'm really blown away by it. So guys, let me know if you've used this foundation. Let me know what your thoughts are. I'd love to hear from you. Please leave me your comments down below. I am going to leave you with a link to my video on how to do some uplifting techniques with makeup if that interests you. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up. Please don't forget to subscribe and I'll see you next time. Ciao, ciao.